Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Jody Misiak, and welcome to the second episode of the miniseries, Life Loves You. I'm so excited for this whole miniseries. If you missed last episode, I encourage you to go back at some point, but it is standalone, so you missed stuff, but you didn't miss anything that you can't just keep listening to this right now. So I encourage you to go back because it just really, I share about the inspiration behind this mini series and why I'm so passionate about this whole mini series. I'm always passionate, but I feel like I'm really, really excited about this one because it is in honor of one of my mentors, Louise Hay. So I really love this mini series. So I hope you're enjoying it as well. So if you listened to the first episode, thank you and welcome back. And if you're new to this mini series, awesome. I'm so excited that you're here too. And thanks for jumping in. So today we're going to talk about rewriting inner narratives so life's love can really be seen. So I actually used to have an unlimited belief that I was dumb, that I was stupid, that I wasn't good enough to do, lots of things because I wasn't good at anything. And little by little, I finally pushed most of that away. But these narratives can keep us stuck. And they can also color our point of view through life. So I would come from this place of, I'm stupid, I won't even try. Or I can't do this because I'm not good enough at it. And things like that. So by me feeling like I was stupid or dumb, like it really came from my childhood and my upbringing and just being constantly told that I'm not smart enough or that and the word stupid and dumb may never have crossed my parents' lips or anything like that, but it was the way I was treated that it really went to my inner being. Now, thankfully, I've let go of all the resentment and things like that's a healing process. That's for a whole other day, and I've shared different times about it, but that was one of my limiting stories. And like I said, slowly but surely, I've slowly eliminated it. I had a really supportive teacher in grade 11 and 12. Like there's just some really good moments in my life where the people showed up and supported me where I really needed it. And then also what helped was my husband supporting me through it as well. And the fun thing is like I was labeled with having a learning disability. And who knows, maybe today I would still be labeled that, but I turned this into this personal label that meant that I was defective and that I wasn't good enough. And the part that's funny, because labeling is not funny, but the funny part is later in life, in my 20s, I discovered that I am a visual learner. And in school, it's mostly audible and so I really need to see things. Like I learn history if I'm walking the streets of that place, or if it's personally linked to me, I take it in so much better. But reading things in a book about dates and facts of history or different things, like it just doesn't, or if a teacher's just talking on and on, I don't take that in as much. But at the same time, I do read and listen and things, and I do learn that way, but it's understanding that I need to actively do something to make it stick. So when I was for example, when I took my yoga teaching training, I learned a lot from verbal things, but when it really stuck was when I was actively practicing my yoga and when I was like, oh, this is linked to here, and it was about seeing the bigger picture. So anyways, our limiting beliefs can really color our lives. Like I said, I live from this place of being broken or defective and, not worthy. And that really did play a part in my life for a very long time. So I have a question for you. What if the reason you don't feel loved by life is because your inner narrative filters everything through suspicion? Or maybe it's even a filter of just this view or this idea that you picked up along the way of your childhood. We tend to pick up beliefs and thoughts of others throughout our life, and that doesn't necessarily align with who we are, but they get picked up. So an example of a limiting story can be like, I'm not enough, I'm always a mess up, I always make mistakes, I can't do anything right. And it's just these things that maybe you were told over and over, maybe, you didn't listen as a kid and things like that. And it's like people say things when they're angry. And when we're a child, we take that in to be face value, especially if we hear it over and over again. Now, I want to be clear, and I should have said it sooner with my own limiting story, but this isn't about blame or shame or even like mostly blame. Like, we're not blaming people in our life for putting these thoughts and beliefs on us. It's just about awareness. Where did it come from? So you can let it go. So this isn't about blaming other people for saying these things growing up. They can only do what they knew what to do. And then when we know better, we can do better, right? So, and I'm sharing this with so much love because it took me a long time to let go of my own anger and frustration around this all. Be like, why didn't they do better? So I want to say this straight away, and let you know that it's not about blaming others. It's just awareness about what's there. That's it. It's not, oh, I wish they could have done better. It's, okay, this happened. Now, what can I do differently? When we put the energy on what we can do, like I can do this, I can do that, it gives this empowerment, this freedom to show up and do it. When we place blame on others, when we hold them in that space, then we feel like we have no control. We have no way of letting that go. It's in their hands. But what I want to do today is remind you that you are in control of your life. You are the driver of your life, and you get to decide which way you go. So it happened, and it's just really doing that. So I just want to remind you and just loving you here and now in this moment, because I've done a lot of healing throughout the years, and there's always more beautiful moments that pop up and be like, oh, I gotta, face this and heal this and let this go. But I've been there, and it really hurt to feel like I didn't have the control to change it. And when we take responsibility for where we are right now, it really gives you the power to move forward with love in this world and in your life. And it's incredible. Okay. So just want to share that. So you don't there's some major feelings I had when I was doing this originally. And I wish somebody would have told me earlier on, it's almost like detaching where it came from. So you don't have to hold so much anger and frustration to somebody in your life. So anyways, okay. So before we go into an interactive exercise, I want to share about 3 different areas, really 3 common narrative patterns that block us feeling supported. So first off is the scarcity mindset. So there's not enough in the world. There's not enough money. There's not enough food. There's not enough love. There's not enough of something. Scarcity mindset. Number 2, hyper responsibility and perfectionism. So wanting to be perfect at everything, or, I can't do this because I'm not perfect. I've been caught in that before too, where it's like, oh, I can't do this yet because I'm not good enough, or I'm not going to show up perfectly. So why do it in the first place? And then number 3, the victim helplessness mindset. So feeling that somebody did something bad to you and wronged you. Or the fact that you just were helpless in that situation. Okay. So let's get to the exciting bits. The interactive exercise called Catch, Name, Reframe. So when a negative thought arises, so when it's popping in your head and you say, oh, I'm not enough, catch it. You can, if you're a visual person like me, you can literally visualize yourself catching it, or whatever works for you. Catch it, name it. So example, that's a scarcity story. So kind of just what category did it fall into? Oh, I'm playing the victim again, or whatever works for you. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the victim of actually something wrong, somebody really wronged you, because that's not the victim I'm talking about. It's just that victim mindset where it's poor me, I'm helpless, and things like that. And I know this sounds harsh, but this is just like the one, hold on, let me go back, not the harshness. Okay. So the victim mindset. So it's not about not, that no one didn't do anything wrong to you, but it's this mindset. So I just wanted to be clear with that. Okay. So example, that's a scarcity story. Then reframe it into a neutral or supportive statement. So for example, say your thought is, I'll never get another job. Reframe, I'm exploring opportunities and learning what I want. So I'd really like to encourage you to just, write down catch, name, reframe, put it on a sticky note, put it somewhere that you see it. And then it's just being more mindful of when a negative thought arises. You might not even know it's happening. And then it's catching it. And a lot of the time it can be the same one over and over again. So it's like, oh, that's happening. And then what kind of story is this? Is it scarcity? Is it because I want to be perfect? Or is it like the victim helpless mindset where it's like you don't feel like you have control over your life, right? Like it's putting, really what it is putting blame on somebody else instead of showing up for you. And that might feel, harsh, but sometimes I'm giggling a little bit because I'm reminded of my own mentor, a different one, not Louise Hay, but a different one that really called me out when I was in denial. So sometimes we need the hard truth in front of us to understand that, oh, I need to see this. I need to really see this so I can let it go and heal from this. So sometimes it's realizing that, yeah, I fall into victim mode. I play the victim like I don't have control over my life. And when we fall into that, it's not about blaming yourself or beating yourself up, but it's recognizing it, calling yourself out on it with love and be like, oh, I do have control. I do have the steering wheel in my hands and I get to drive my life. I get to point my car in the direction I want to go. You have the controls, but it's when you're realizing that your mind is getting in the way of that, where you're putting all your life in somebody else's hands. So it's really taking ownership in this case, like if you fall into that category, ownership of your life. So catch, name, reframe. You got this. So it's catching that thought and then naming it and then reframing it. And sometimes what I find is if a thought keeps coming up is that you can reframe it or you can start putting affirmations around your house to reframe it. So with the example I gave you is I'm exploring opportunities and learning what I want. It could even be, the right job is looking for me and we're coming together now. Things like that might, anything that kind of helps you reframe and take you away from the original thought. So you can put different affirmations up. I put them up in the bathroom. I use cue cards and write all over them. They're nice, colorful ones. And then I stick them up all over. They're in my office. It's where you're going to see them and where you're going to use them. Now, if it's hard to really get mindful of what thoughts are keeping you stuck or kind of like making you feel heavy, I really encourage you to journal. You can just sit and close your eyes for a second and just take a deep breath in and out through your mouth. Breathe in again through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And then open your eyes and start journaling. What stories do I keep telling and reliving and playing over and over again? And it's just keep going. And then if journaling doesn't help trigger things, it's really just being mindful of when you're not feeling in flow in your life or when you're not feeling good or when somebody triggers you. Because those can be old stories and old beliefs showing up. Now, the thing is, though, a lot of us, we do know those stories. We do know what's happening, but maybe we've tried to shove them away or push them away so we don't remember them. So just taking a quiet moment, placing your hands on your heart and just saying, like, I love you. Life loves me and I am safe. So that you can reopen those thoughts and beliefs so you can catch it, name it, and reframe it. Because sometimes, like, we hang on to these stories and beliefs. Like the one that I shared with you that I felt stupid and dumb. I feel like that was kindergarten, at least at that point, when my parents decided to hold me back from kindergarten to keep going again. So it can really carry through our life for years. So this was kindergarten. And then I didn't really, like in high school, I made some changes, but I still remember when we were moving, I looked at some of my old journals and I was really, really hard on myself still in college. I had journals and I was like, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be here. I can't do this. And I was really, really still living those stories. It really wasn't until, and so that was after college, after I had a really amazing couple teachers in high school in grade 11 and 12 to support me. It definitely helped. And I graduated with honors. They really helped and encouraged me. But then I started a new hurdle. And so anyways, but it wasn't until my 20s when I met my husband who really helped me see things differently and then support me when I didn't know something, instead of be like, well, why don't you know this already? Or why aren't you better? Or why are you not good? Like the support was there. And it was really beautiful. So today, if you don't have anybody in your corner rooting you on, saying you are good enough, you are smart enough, you are beautiful enough, you are amazing and incredible. If you don't have that in your life, I'm here right now with you, cheering you on. And whatever negative thoughts in your head came from outside sources, they're not yours. They're not yours. They're not supporting you. And again, it's not about shame or blame. It really isn't. It's there and that's okay. It really, really is. It's just becoming aware of it so you can go back and catch it and name it and reframe it. So I'm here cheering you on, letting you know that you are amazing. And these beliefs that are coming up that are negative are not for you, especially if they're making you feel negative. They're not yours. They're somebody else's. So today it's time to let them go. Catch, name, reframe so you can let it go. I just really appreciate you being here and know that, you do have somebody in your corner rooting you on. I've been through some challenges and things like that. And that's one of the reasons I do what I do. I love helping people. And I always feel like, I wish I would have found myself on my self-love journey. I know it's not possible, but I've had some really amazing mentors. And I hope that I can even bring and be even half of what my mentors are to you, if not more. Reach for the sky and the limit, the sky's the limit. Okay. So hopefully, you feel a little bit better, or at least have an understanding of how to do the exercise of catch, name, and reframe. And then sometimes even journaling it out and then writing a letter. I'm not going to go too much into it right now, but it's writing a letter. You never send it, but it's maybe you feel anger or sadness or frustration from your younger self or a family member or a friend or anybody that you're feeling something. If you're feeling anger and frustration to somebody else, you can write a letter and then, you can safely burn it, bury it, rip it up in shreds, put it through the shredder, whatever works for you, and let it go. So sometimes writing things down, like all the feelings and all the things, and then getting rid of it, not sending it, but getting rid of it in a safe, whatever manner that is. I love burning it, but I can only burn it certain times of the year because we have fire bans a lot of the year when things are dry. So again, it's only if it's safe to do so. Okay, so I would like you to really try, if you can, if you're on board with this, for 3 days. Be mindful of your thoughts And then write down the thought that shows up. Label the story and reframe it. And then, either find the world is amazing. You can find affirmations anywhere and everywhere. You can create your own. It's really just turning a negative thought into a positive. So it's like, I'm not good enough. It's like, I am amazing just as I am. So you can find affirmations that kind of help you reframe those negative thoughts, especially if they're reoccurring over and over, and write them all over the place. Another beautiful resource is my social media pages. So Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, I'm all on there. And I try to share little affirmations or little motivations and things like that. And if you go back, you might even find affirmations that are in line with what you need in the moment. Remember, life loves you. So it's here guiding you throughout your day and your week and your months. So finding that. The other places is the BU community room. If you're not a member yet, it's absolutely free and it's on my website at jodymisiak.com. It's this group of women and we're here to support one another, encourage each other, and occasionally I'll throw affirmations in there. But if you're struggling with finding your own affirmation, it's a great place to lean on for others and get support. And if I'm in there, I can also give you affirmations and help and guide you. I'm not in there every day, but I'll try and pop in when I can. And it's just a really great place for tools and resources and support to really embrace who you are, to peel back the layers of these negative stories that, we've all been immersed in through our childhood, and really just shedding the layers and rebuilding really the person we really are meant to be and who we truly are underneath all those layers and masks and things like that we've accumulated over the years. So if you want more loving support, I really encourage you to jump over to my website, jodymisiak.com, and just sign in, and it's under the groups. It's that easy. So next week, we're going to explore body wisdom. How your body knows that life loves you, even before your mind does. So if you love this episode, please subscribe and share the love. Don't keep this podcast a secret. And I really look forward to connecting to you over in the BU community room. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day. See you next time. Bye for now.